over there to you.
Who else was?
Just a couple of comments.
Yes, ma'am.
If any of you all are on the water and go up and down the James River or down the Newport News, it's all private property. Very, very little use for the general public to use. And I think it's a shame. It really is. If you're rich in Newport News and can afford waterfront property, you're doing fine. But if you don't have that kind of money, you don't have a whole lot of use of it, and you don't have those great views. I have to drive down Denby Boulevard to the very end to see those spectacular sunsets. And as far as Newport News making money, they have a gem, a jewel in the Newport News City Park and Deer Run golf course. Back in 2012, the pavilion there that hosted many, many events and weddings burned down.
Yes, ma'am.
Guess what we have there now?
A tent. I don't
A
forget.
damn tent. You all should be ashamed of yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, we could do a marathon and put all that money.
You've been talking to him.
Yeah. I'm serious. I'm serious.
You're absolutely right.
You could make lots of money on that venue, but you won't put money there, but you could put one day a year, we can run people from one end of the city to the other. Now explain that to me. And I could go on.
And that particular venue you mentioned, it has been funded and there has been money to do that before. And unfortunately, when you don't have enough resources, you have to reallocate to other more pressing things.
And they have porta johns out by the tents, so when the bride goes in.
I hear it. It is what it is.
About 10 more minutes of questions.
I have a quick question.
Sure.
The comprehensive plan that has just been updated.
It's not completed yet.
Right, okay, it's under study, comes out of the planning department, is that
Yes,
correct?
ma'am.
Is it presented directly to the city?
The process right now, they're doing some final revisions. They've been working with the committee. You know, my understanding, just had an update on it this morning. They're about a couple of weeks away from putting it out for public comment.
All right,
It will
because
go out and it'll
public
be
comment
available.
then, would that be the appropriate time for this group to lobby, to have a referendum, to designate it instead of understudy back as a park? What we're trying to do is to get a designation there. The comprehensive plan of all the things to put there, it's going to take time, agreed upon. What we don't want is to run the risk of having it tabled forever.
Here, here.
To get to your question, though, absolutely, it's part of the comprehensive plan, and the public, I don't know that I call it a referendum, but that's the whole point of going out to public, to take a look at the information that's out there. And if you would like to see a different designation, make your opinion known at that particular point in time on the comprehensive.
So we actually could do that. We
Yes,
could come
ma'am.
to city council and say, we want.
Absolutely, and I believe they're going to set up the
We're
website.
asking the city to designate that, vote
As a
on it
part.
yes or no. And that would put them on notice as to where they stand personally.
They could do it absent the comprehensive plan update. They could do it tomorrow if they wanted to. They have just not elected to do that because they want more information on the options and the opportunities for that property.
But the options and the opportunities can be more comprehensive if we have a designation.
Yes.
Absolutely. And they could designate it something else tomorrow.
Yes.
This is why all these
Yes.
people are here on this
And I
cold, rainy night.
absolutely understand that. All I can tell you is that in the short time that I've been working, I have no indication from council that they want to do anything differently than what I described in terms of going through a process and looking at opportunities and options. Yes, ma'am.
It bothered me at several other meetings we've had city council members that have come, and you could tell they were not for this plan. They want to develop. And there ought to be a way that we can contact those councilmen and women, and because all the money cannot just go downtown to further that place. There are several parks down there, but we don't go down there any more than we really want to go up to Yorktown to their park. We need a park here, and it's bothersome to hear the councilmen that really don't want to vote on it because they don't want to say, I'm not for it, but I think they need to be forced into voting for it.
That's the whole thing, they don't want to vote.
I think it's about
Yes,
information.
several of us went to the Citizens Planning Committee for the comprehensive plan just a week ago, I guess. And as far as that process is concerned, it's almost over. So the comprehensive plan is getting ready to go out for public comment. But my understanding is that the recommendation from the planning commission, from the city planners, is to leave it under study.
Yes.
And I think they're going to leave it, and I think that it's gonna be a pretty hard sale to get that designated anything else at this point. And they do have a good, at least I think is reasonable as far as when they're doing this comprehensive plan, my understanding is, and this is the first meeting I went to, and you guys might want to have more information, but that this process has taken way longer. It was going on for a couple of years before the person who's running it now got there, and that it's taken much longer than it should have, and it kind of got out of hand, and nobody kind of cordoned it in, and so there's a need within the city, I think, or at least in that department, the planning department, where they seem to feel like they really want to get it out there. And then they can go and take each one of these pieces and develop them more. But as far as that particular document is concerned, I think the ship is almost sailed. So we may want to focus on
If
something
you
a
don't
little
mind,
bit different.
kind of yes,
But that's
yes
sort
and
of
no.
what the-
They'll put it out for public comment, and now the process will start, and then there's various agencies that have to review it as part of, it's the law that they're required, some state agencies are required to view it also, and then it gets in front of the planning commission, and there's more public meetings and public hearings, and then it gets in front of city council. But to go to your point, we're right now thinking it's going to be late October, early November before it even gets in front of city council. So while the process that they've done with the committee is over, the public input process open to the public is by no means even close to being over. Yes, sir.
Why do the city council knows everything, like the plans more than the public? Like President Obama, Donald Trump.
I think he's saying that why doesn't the public have an input? Why does the plan come from city council, is that right?
Well, agreed. Why is it that initially, I think when, from our perspective, that plans, when you initially met with Fry, that was a closed door session. And then by the time the information was inputted back out to the public, we, the people, that you, as I've been listening, that this park is our park. I take my children there, we play, we have a lot. But the initial meeting was closed door. When we drive past, there are dump trucks, there's construction, there's everything. It's torn up. So all of these things agreed as you're coming in on the 28th day of March. But where was the input from all of us collectively, because this is our venue, prior to? It seems like a lot of less process after the fact, and to agree to acknowledge, to atone after the fact. But where was all of this prior to? Before the land was taken or destroyed, or to look, we should have I feel that as we collectively should have been addressed, should have known, we should have been asked and informed so that we could have collectively had an vested input.
I
So
absolutely
then,
understand and
moving
respect your
forward-
position, and
Moving forward, when you talk about transparency, the openness, where would that be for us? Would that be on your site? Would that be so we have the documentation of all of the other legalese that has gone through, the promoters, the people that you're looking for that come out, the developers that you're talking about putting up, all of the other collective archaeological studies, all of those other things that as we collectively use this park, it might not be a lot of the demographic that you see, but we are all very vested in looking forward and would like to be able to see what the input is. You know, as if it seemed like more of that's closed door, that is not communicating